everybody, welcome to my backyard. I'm here with Henry, and we're going to talk about how you can make changes from home.
We've stepped away from the golf course today.
Now we're no longer on the driving range, we're no longer practicing at the golf course. We're hitting into a net, making changes in our own home environment.
And oftentimes, I find that some of the best changes happen here.
Yeah, because what happens when we're at the golf course or on the driving range is we fall in love with where the ball's going. And in this scenario, we don't know where the ball's going, really. We can I could tell based on my feels where it's going to go, but
Right.
if I change a motor pattern, it probably changes where the ball's going to go. But hitting into a net is really desirable because it makes it so we're more interested in our pattern than we are in what the ball does.
Right, right.
Okay, so often I see the best changes happen hitting into a screen or a net and not really knowing where the ball is going at first, so you're just changing how the thing looks. You're making the pattern look more like what you want. And then you go outside and you hit a ball and you might be like, oh baby, that didn't go where I aimed it,
Yep.
but it looked right. And then we've got to figure out how to get the alignment of the face and things in order, but motion first is kind of what I'm after here.
Well, there's a couple of things we talk about on our site, our online academy, and those two things are exaggeration and the speed of motion.
Yeah.
Two ways to really help you feel and ingrain new movement patterns.
Yeah, change is hard, and if you swing it at full speed and expect it to look different, it's probably not going to look different. It's going to take some time at a slower rate of speed, doing something probably slow and exaggerated at first to make it look different, and then gradually adding a little bit of speed to it and still feeling the exaggerations, and it'll start to look a little better, but it won't change that much, because when you add speed, your brain goes right back to what it's comfortable with. For sure.
So for our viewers at home that are looking to bring about a more rotational golf swing, less dependent on hands and arms, right? Outside of joining our online academy, which we recommend, but what are some things they can sort of do at home to kind of slow things down and learn these movement patterns?
Well, first thing I recommend is take your hands and arms completely out of the shot. So you're going to learn how to apply the golf club without using these guys.
Okay.
We're taking this away. For most of you, it's going to be super uncomfortable. It's going to feel very awkward and difficult, but it's necessary.
So I take that as sort of like almost like a limp arm swing, where I'm just turning and turning.
A limp long arm swing. So you're just turning and turning and feeling your arms just staying away from you. And
okay. Let me try one here. See if you kind of like that.
Yep, that's pretty good. So did you apply the club to the ball feeling like it was all body, no hands and arms?
It felt pretty rotary. Yeah,
Okay.
It felt like most of the motion was in my core. How was that for like length and speed?
It was pretty good. Starting off, I might even slow it down a little bit.
Okay, so
you're gonna make a nice big turn and you're gonna go slow enough so that now that one was money.
So to me, like that almost felt like the ball just got in the way. Like I was almost just collecting it with my turn.
That's what we want.
Okay.
So we're gonna really feel like you're collecting that ball with just turn.
That one I thinned a little bit, but should I?
Who cares?
Who cares? Okay.
Was the pattern good? Did you feel like you just turned both
It felt
directions?
just as good as the one before. I just didn't hit it.
You didn't hit it solid.
Yeah.
But the motion is what we're after. Motion first. You'll make contact well if you keep making the motion. Now, it's really tough to hit a ball really solid when there's no levers involved, because you're not creating very much downward attack angle, so you're coming in real shallow. It's easy to hit it thin or fat.
Very round and level.
Like that one you caught just a fraction thick.
Yeah.
But that's really nice.
Okay.
So now,
let's say I'm feeling pretty comfortable about that motion. I've started to feel like, you know, my setup feels pretty good. I'm just kind of turning and turning. How do I begin to build that up?
Well, we start to add elements in. So now, once we've got a nice big turn that's propelling the golf club, now let's add in a little lever, but let's not unload the lever. So you're going to turn it back, let your wrist set a little bit, and then feel like you unwind your body. You're going to have to turn a lot farther than you're used to turning to get the club back to the ball.
Okay.
If you're not used to rotating.
When you say, I'm assuming this wrist, you're talking about kind of setting it into extension?
Yeah, we're going to let that trail wrist extend like you're going to throw a ball. So it's going to turn back, set, and then we're going to deliver the golf club with that set.
And you said you don't really want this club passing my hands and arms.
I don't want this to unload at all.
You want this club getting back to the ball with that pivot.
Yep. Okay. Only the pivot. So, and it's going to be slow. I want this ball to barely get into the net. So it's
now, what about like sort of tension? I mean, am I still pretty limp or?
Still fairly limp, but we're actually manually holding this angle back for right now. So one of the big keys is the velocity is going to be slow.
Yeah.
I want the ball to go into that net barely, really slow.
So I might just need a little more pressure in my fingers
because
I'm creating angle. Okay. I think I know what you're saying here.
Okay, that was awesome, but you hit it into the net a little too fast.
A little too fast. Okay, so even slower.
Slow it down. I mean, I want that ball to barely get into the net in the air. Yeah.
So that one I even tried to feel a little bit of that like sort of squat and turn that you've talked about too.
Well, in order for you to apply the club to the ball, if that angle's there, that's going to start showing up. Otherwise, you're not going to hit it.
So I mean, I'm assuming if I was on a driving range, that would have only gone to like the end of the tee box, like 20 yards.
Yeah, maybe a little more, 25, 30 yards.
But that's amazing how slow.
Beautiful.
That has to feel. But I do feel that. So I'm starting to kind of understand that sensation that you're trying to talk to us about on the site, right?
For sure. So that's basically what we're doing with everybody, is we're walking them through how to build this piece by piece.
Yeah.
And then once we can do that, then we gradually start adding a little bit of velocity.
Right. So let's say, so I have an 8-iron here, I hit those 30, 40 yards.
So now let's hit it 50 yards. Same feeling, still not unloading any levers. Pretty darn good.
Okay. So I could just keep, what's the word you use, laddering that up.
Yep.
And now if let's say I start really mishitting some, which again, when you're doing these movements, you're going to mishit some, but let's say it gets pretty squirrely and I feel like I've lost that feeling, the focus of this exercise, which is really feeling it, right? So what would I do if I get to that place where I'm hitting it a lot farther and it's just not the same?
Take the speed down.
So go back.
Go back a couple steps. Go back 2 or 3 rungs on the ladder and see if you can find the feeling again. Mm-hmm. And then start building it back up until it breaks down again, and then down. Gradually you'll be able to start going close to full speed.
So that's kind of like that old adage when you use like a training aid, right? Where you do like 10 reps with it and then like 5 without it.
Yep.
And then you kind of eventually start to offset those numbers, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Cool. Well, I think this gives them at least a look into how they can train at home using a net and a mat, and even if you didn't have a net, you can or hitting balls, you can do these exercises.
Yeah, you can do them. I almost always like to be hitting something, so they make like birdie balls and foam balls, anything that you can apply the club to.
Yeah.
And you want feedback, so every so often you want to film yourself and see, oh, am I doing what I think I'm doing? Because most of the time when I see people, when people think they're doing what they're trying to do, they'll look at it and they'll be like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Well, that's why we say a lot of people are trying to hit it too hard when they're trying to build the motion first. So start slow, exaggerate, and don't be afraid to work from home. You don't have to hit balls on the golf course or at the range all the time.
Exactly. Hey guys, so I wanted to give you a sneak peek into MiloLinesGolf.com. an online academy devoted to helping you play better golf and learn to swing like an athlete. So I've assembled an awesome team of instructors to help me with this mission. And we've received some awesome feedback from the members of our site, and we've seen many of them make great strides toward improving their games. As a member of MiloLinesGolf.com, you get a monthly evaluation from myself or my team. You get a private space to track your progress. You also receive access to a live lesson library and a really large library of how-to videos. Access to our member-only webinars, and you get to ask us questions to be answered live. And much, much more. So, for just $49 per month or $399 per year, you can have access to all these great things and learn to swing like an athlete. So let us help you play the best golf of your life. So visit us at the link below and join now.
And that's kind of what our website's for too. So we hope you check it out. And if you like this video, make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.